Hello folks, Richard Millman here for the Millman Experience and I'm Ask USA. Hope you're all safe and well and that you're managing to stay active during this coronavirus pandemic. I've had several questions, suggestions about, what's the point of keeping going? It looks like the way that the world is going to be, squash is going to be very difficult. We don't even know when we're going to get back to the courts. Well, the point of keeping going is that we've been afforded this time that we're not normally afforded to learn as much as we possibly can, to learn about who we are as people, to learn about how our bodies interact with the world, to learn how to perceive the world. And this is an opportunity also to really get ahead with our skills that are required as a squash player. There are certain attributes that we try and work on to develop our squash, but also we need to remember that squash develops attributes in us, if we let it, that make us more powerful human beings. So I really want to encourage you not to allow depression and inactivity to shut you down and stop you getting out every single day and working on some aspect of your game or your body or your mind, and in doing so keeping your emotions alive. Things that we do on the squash court help with all kinds of hidden assets. There's a real epidemic in this world of myopia because people don't spend enough time changing distance perception and focus with their eyes, and optometrists are really worried about this. Squash helps us do that because we have to constantly change focus. Not many of us are aware of how the intimate parts of our body are able to be used for weight transference, for sensitivity, for awareness. Now, obviously our fingers are the most sensitive limbs that we've got, but second only to the fingers are the feet, and particularly the toes, and we need to have an intimate understanding of how the toes interact with the earth, because as Isaac Newton told us, force equals mass times acceleration. So if we want to be able to use our mass to be able to accelerate that mass to create some force that we can utilize, we have to intimately know the moment that we touch the earth to be able to shift the weight and transfer power wherever we want it to go. In our case, often into a ball, but also sometimes it's not into a ball, but it's simply shifting our weight so that we can move in tandem with the ball. So I'm going to show you some ways of learning to become more intimately aware of what your body is doing and how your weight is interacting with the world. A lot of younger folks, before they get the strength and control of their limbs, tend to be pretty floppy with the way their feet are moving. Okay? If you watch a world-class athlete, they intimately know the exact moment that the foot is going to touch the floor, and they know also how to use the feet to attend to the ball at all times. Sometimes people get confused, and after they have transferred weight into a shot, they think that the purpose of their feet is to move them to a strategic position to defend the court. That is a purpose, but it's a secondary purpose. The primary purpose of each individual step you ever take on a squash court is always staying connected with the ball, so that when you hit your shot, as the ball comes off your racket, these steps you're now taking are actually primarily about staying connected in a relationship with the ball. Not about traveling somewhere independently of the ball, but traveling somewhere whilst maintaining that connection with the ball. So it's really important, if you're going to do that, that you have intimate sensitivity of what your feet are doing at all times, that you can stay on your toes, never let your heels touch the floor when you're trying to stay ready. As soon as you start putting your heels down, it's like this part of your hand is nowhere near as sensitive as this part of your hand. So toes are so important to be able to feel the world around you, feel the ground underneath you, and to be able to control the exact moment. Your drop shots will only be as good as your understanding of the transference of energy and power from your feet through your body into the racket, into the ball. And if you're not really familiar with that moment, you're not going to be the best controller of the ball that you possibly could be. Alright, so we'll have a look at some drills that will help you become more intimately aware of you and how your feet work. Okay, in this first example of weight transference and understanding the precise moment that the foot hits the floor so that you can shift your weight, Pat's feeding me a couple of balls here. What I want you to see is how the foot goes down now and pushes back to transfer, like a slingshot, energy into the ball. I go away, do my ghost, and then I'm going to come back again and again. On the toes, foot goes down, push back, weight, slingshots through, up from my foot, along my leg, through my shoulders, or core and shoulders, and then into the ball. So here we go, one more, and we want to see that foot delicately put down and then pushing off, knowing the stability, knowing the pressure, feeling with the toes the exact time that that contact is going to occur. So in the next exercise that we do after this, you'll see an opportunity to practice becoming more familiar with the moment that contact occurs between the foot and the ground. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do some ladder work. I've got a ladder laid out here on my driveway. Really important when you do ladder work, if you're a squash player, that you do not hit any part of the ladder. The reason for that is you have to develop this intimate understanding of where you are relative to the world, specifically when the moment that you touch the world occurs, and therefore the timing of when you are able to push off. If you're clumsy, you're going to be inefficient, and since the commodity of squash is time, those inefficiencies mount up over a period of time. Might only be 1/100th of a second per occasion, but if you do it 100 times, then you're beginning to get really appreciative deficits. So, first exercise I'm going to do, very simple, just running down the ladder with one foot in each box. But again, you're not going to touch any part of the ladder. Now obviously, if you've got big feet, it's more difficult. But if you've got big feet, it's more important that you control your big body precisely, because you haven't got the speed of a smaller person. So work hard. Okay, next one, again, just running through the boxes, but this time it's 2 feet in each box. Next one is a weight transference exercise. and you're just going to try and do this nice and quickly. Next one is quite difficult because you're losing your orientation, but again, really working on never touching any part of the ladder. Next one is change of direction work, and there are many versions of this, but we're going to try across and back. Next one really has to be focused on. You have to have good peripheral awareness. Next one's really difficult. We're going to try and really get your peripheral awareness on high alert, going backwards down the ladder. Next one is just a coordination issue. You're going to go 2 forwards and 1 back. Next one is what I call circles, and you're going to miss a box after the first box and then come back to it and keep circling and missing a box. Again, really concentrating on what your feet are doing at all times. Now with all of those exercises, you can change the order, you can work on them for just quality, you can work on them for pace, but until you've got the quality up to a high level, I wouldn't try and go fast. Get to the point where you know exactly what your feet are doing and where they are at all times. That's left foot in first, going sideways. You can also do it right foot in first. So you have to really think about your coordination. Again, never touching the ladder. Again, knowing the moment that your foot interacts with the world is so important if you are going to control your power, your timing, your efficiency. You can do hopscotch in every box, you can do hopscotch alternating boxes, whatever you'd like. Again, know the moment that contact is going to occur. You want to use your ladder also for balance and coordination. Simple exercise where you have to just touch the rung in front before you then step forwards. Again, this is an opportunity to learn about your body and how to maintain control of it when you're being asked to do a difficult exercise. I have troubles with my left hip because I had a hip resurfacing operation, and you may have stiffness, but if you work on this, what you're beginning to find out is how your foot is interacting with the ground and beginning to know yourself, beginning to understand how your body interacts with the world around you. And the more of this intimate exploration of how your body operates that you do, the more equipped you will be under pressure. Okay, so that's a bunch of exercises. Hope you've enjoyed them, and good luck. Do something every day and learn something new about yourself and the way your body works every day. Thanks.